monthly Nasdaq Composite. Today's date, how about this? 9/1 of 2012. Happy election to everyone. You got the elections coming in November. There's going to be a trade here. And what I want to point out to everyone is since we started this bull run in 2009, we're right up here at the wall of resistance. But let me tell you something. This chart goes back to 2000, and it's a monthly chart. I'm going to draw some trend lines right here to show you that if we break these monthly tops, we could break them, but we were only going to go up. Now, let's take a look at where the Nasdaq Composite closed at 3,066. Why is it a bull run that is overbought and has to pull back? The Nasdaq Composite is heavily driven with technology companies that have paved the way, internet stocks. You got Apple in there, you have the Nasdaq 100, but you have this Nasdaq Composite. And it's been a handful of companies that have led this thing much higher than the 2012. The 2012 trend is much stronger than what people really believe. Most people, when we had this big rally up here in 2012 right here, we came straight back down in the Nasdaq Composite. And just like anything else, we're about to break these highs. What will end up happening is that September, because of the overbought area, we can continue to break above these resistance levels and go as high as, let's say, 3175, 3250 area. That would be a bull run that may or may not happen. What I am telling people is there's going to be a correction, like every bull run has. See the big correction here? See the corrections here? See the corrections here? They have corrections. And what I'm saying is that just like we called the short side of a lot of stocks back in the middle of the year, and that's this movement. This was that 1 month, 2 month reversal to support level right here and right back up. When we break this high, that would put the Nasdaq Composite and individual stocks at such an overbought level that there's going to be increased price volatility within the Nasdaq comp. Nasdaq Composite, Nasdaq 100, that's 100 stocks. Apple is a big contributor to this. What we are saying is that moving forward, that the price volatility ranges in both directional movements, that's called the long side and the short side, are going to increase in value. And what do I mean by that? Price volatility will be confirmed that you go $10 from the bottom upside trade, but then you reverse $15 from the top of the overbought area, and the broader indexes are going to hit the wall of resistance, and so are the names that are the leadership within their indexes, such as this Nasdaq Composite. That's going to be Apple, that's going to be Google, that's going to be Priceline, that's going to be CRM. There's going to be lots of stocks in there. The CRM won't be in that one. That will be in the Dow, not the Dow, but the S&P. But the CRM would be a gauge, because what we watched here is how this thing had ran up to the highs and had reversed. And we seen other stocks that are leaderships across all sectors doing the same thing on Friday on 8/31. Stocks were making their highs and they were getting some volatility and they were getting some reversals. When we're at a major top, when we look at a bull and we look at the bull rally from 2009, we look at what it would take to get back here in this time frame in 2001. This is a big monthly bar. That was a huge sell bar. We had 3 in a row, but it's going to be this one is going to be the shorter term one. So when we break these highs, we're going to see if we can get, right now we're 82% overbought on a monthly chart on the Nasdaq Composite. We won't go much higher, but every time we go higher, we are going to have reversal volatility in the market. What I am saying carefully, people that own high beta stocks, such as the Googles and the Apples that have made great 52-week highs, have ran up parabolically within that bull trend that has taken this Nasdaq Composite up here, as those stocks are going to increase in price volatility. And that the Nasdaq Composite on a daily chart, when I look at the Nasdaq Composite on a daily chart, what I clearly can see here versus the monthly chart is where we're getting top end heavy again. Remember, we have a major wall of resistance on this daily chart right here. So we're going to have to clear that 31 handle, and what's going to end up happening is that we are going to have to come up here. The higher that we go, what I am telling everyone is the higher that we trend up on the daily, we're overbought on the daily in the short term. Markets do not see increased volatility unless they get into an overbought state. What do we really focus on outside of the monthly and the daily? Naturally, is that weekly. We can get more overbought here. We have a ways to go for this Nasdaq Composite to take out these highs. We're back when we called the big top in this. We said, and the date that I have here for everyone is 8/20. We were at 97% overbought, and we did have a pullback. We are at about 66% on a DS reading. That's called percent DS. That's what the public looks at. That's what hedge fund managers and people look at, is to see how overbought or where we're at in a cycle. On the daily, you're testing the 20-day, you're testing the 10-day simple moving average. You can see where the reversal was. It was a narrow range, and we came back up, but we did not close above until we close above 3,100. Till we close above 3,100 and consolidate 3,100, we're not going to see that 3184 up here where there's going to be a wall of resistance. What we will say that on our weekly charts that we look at is that we've gotten to an area here on the Nasdaq Composite, and I will go ahead and enlarge this up for you because this is a key for everyone to understand. Why does price volatility increase? Well, when you look at this weekly chart on the Nasdaq Composite, I will tell you that starting the month out of September, that price volatility is going to be in both directions. We're at 86% overbought. Are we at an extreme level when I called for the shorts over here at 95% weekly overbought? No. We can still break higher in the month of September. And we will update the bull case, and we will also update the bull topping pattern, the bull range. The bull range from the correction in this Nasdaq Composite is going to come up and test it. And we're going to have to break through here now in this weekly chart. Here is 3154.24. We're going to have to bust up to that trend, and we're going to have to take out that one. That's going to be a wall of resistance. That's going to be the first area that we're going to look at, because what it's going to do is take out this diminishing price action. Right now, what we're looking at is how price diminishes. What do I mean by that word? Contracts or narrow ranges like this. This is where reversal is set up. It would be healthy for the Nasdaq Composite to come down and test its weekly moving averages. And what do we take a look at is wherever this top ends up starting in September, if we break up higher and break those resistance levels, at that level we're going to be looking for at least a 7% pullback. Now, every bull, this bull top right here, this is the bull top range that we were in the calendar. This was when we were shorting that. And the leader, and we had that big, nice little correction. That's what bulls will have. I will caution people, if you cannot handle the volatility, that the volatility to the upside and the volatility to the downside is going to increase greatly in the month of September and October, going right through the election. But more so, what we're going to be looking for is where that correction would come down and test support levels and break higher. There's a lot of headlines out. I am saying that we're going to have a reversal. We're going to gauge the tops. We're going to gauge the bottoms. And we're going to see exactly where the bull top starts to fade back and shake out the buyers and create new buying opportunities for the people that are left on the sideline. Remember, the majority of the people are not even involved in this. They let the whole thing go by, and we had a 1, 2, 3. There's that 4-week breakout. Now we have 2 weeks at narrow range tops right here at 3,100 on this weekly. We're not extremely overbought. We're at only 86.72%. We'll see how we start Tuesday out, coming back off of the holiday. But each level of resistance is where stocks are going to reverse from their highs intraday. So you get the long side of the trade, but when they start getting up here higher, they're going to also sell off. So people are going to be selling into rallies, and it's going to create price volatility. So beware, put your seatbelts on, and get ready to rumble in the month of September, because I'm calling for extreme price volatilities at various different time frames in September to take place.